Hello everyone, welcome to the second part of unlocking SP Hein. Here we are. So yesterday I did make a mistake in saying that SP Hein can't use different skins. I clicked on this icon, and when you go through here you can't actually change the skin. However, if you go to change clothes down here, you are able to change the skin. So I do apologize for making that mistake. So let's go and move forward to unlocking the last part, which is complete Leviar level 70 with the team that includes Hein. So I'm going to go ahead and go there, level 70. Be very careful not to sweep it, because if you sweep it today, then you're kind of screwed. The nice thing about the actual Secret Realm buff is that once you have, if you've cleared it once, you're immune to heal reversal damage and restore 30% max damage every time you take damage. So it becomes super easy mode. I'm gonna go ahead and use this particular setup. Actually, I'm not even gonna use both. I'm gonna go ahead and use her, and then I'm gonna use her as the AOE person. I'm gonna use Luna as the buffer. Be very careful with your skill. Make sure you do not use the passive skill, which makes her attack again after attacking, the AOE attack, which is the here, this one. Do not use wind pressure, because what happens is if you attack with Luna, it will change Leviar's weakness, and if it hits the wind pressure again, then it will skip to the next one. So you don't want to do that. Be very careful with that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start the fight. We are gonna start the fight with buffing. Here we'll start this guy first. Okay, we're gonna do that. Buff up the entire team, Princess Faction. Here you can see we're gonna hit it with SP Hein first. And that's because the first weakness is actually physical right now, but we don't have any physical at the moment, so we're just gonna hit with Hein to change it. Okay, now it changes and it should be magical now. Yep, so then you just go and start the cycle. Okay, you come here. Yep, perfect. You can come here and just do your thing. I'm gonna stay close to Luna so you don't take them as much magical damage. Oh, clock is nice. I believe the next one is AOE. Yep, AOE damage. So we're gonna go ahead and nuke. Now it should be physical. Yep. And stay here. And if you already cleared it once, then it doesn't really matter. It's you get heal and you won't get the heal in reversal, so you can just basically stay in place and destroy her. So magic damaging. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and buff everybody up. And just go through the cycle. So we got magic. Next AOE. Next is physical. Back to magic. Pretty much rinse and repeat. And the last one now he is AOE, so we'll just heal up. Easy peasy. When Leviar attacked that, I don't think he changed it. Yep, so just go AOE. which is right here. Next is magic. Right? AOE, no, physical. So physical. Next is magic. Oops. And then is AOE. Oh, I don't have AOE yet. I'll just attack him then. You gotta change it anyways. And physical, I don't have physical. So, just change it. Just keep attacking until he changes. And then give everybody a buff. And by staying in Luna's aura, I don't really take as much damage. So nothing to worry about. Super easy when you already cleared it once. Magic time increased by 30, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. And I have again, so okay. So AOE. Okay, now it's up. And it is physical. I'm gonna be losing my buffs, so gotta buff up soon. And magic. Oh, I might be. Yep, let's do magic. And again, Luna, so I can actually get the fusion buff up. And then we should be done next round. I'm just gonna buff. Not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so now is AOE. Then should be physical and magic. Physical, yep. Physical. Oh, perfect. Got the crown buff. This should kill. Yeah, nice. Okay, finally it is done. So let's take a look at stats. We're gonna talk a little bit about skill, enchants, and just some recommendations on how to use him. Okay, so that's done. Finally. It's been a long day. It's been a long day, that's all I can say. And then here we are. We are going to finish his very last part. Complete. And then by doing that, I'll be able to use all of these. So let's just say, come on, let's go. Wow, so this is his ultimate form, the Black Dragon Magister. Evolution success. That is so cool. Alright, so okay, finally finished. So let's equip him with all the fun stuff. So get that out of the way, that out of the way, that out of the way. So the recommended skill, it would be these right here. So you would have his 3C. Okay, the 1C, the new 1C skill actually increase damage of his 3C by 50%. So when casting Ultimate Magister, damage dealt is increased by 50% and deals extra fixed damage equal to 1 times caster's intel. So it upgrades the 3C from 0.2 to 0.3 AOE damage, plus gives it a 1 extra fixed damage. So that's a huge improvement to Hein's 3C. And that's the passive part. And then when you actually use it on a 4 turn cooldown, is that you grant yourself magic barrier, and when damage taken is reduced by 30%, which is very nice. And it actually lasts 3 turns, so it's not too shabby at all. So after this skill is used, can move in an additional 2 blocks and take action again. So this allows basically for him to move normal 3. After using this, then you can move another 2 blocks, making it 5. You can use this in conjunction with Luna, which will then allow him to basically do some crazy move. Like he possibly could have a range of 7 or 8 depending on how you position it correctly. So something to keep in mind when you are you know, using him with this specific skill in conjunction with Luna. Then this is his new 2C skill. So the 2C skill actually is I would say what 3 skills in 1. And you know, instead of just reading these, let's go ahead and you know, look at it in action and see what you can actually do. So give me a second while I get into a actual battle. And then if you use sorceresses, then definitely, oh yeah, look at that, 8251, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Okay, so he's now up there. Wow, he's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's my 7th strongest character. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But anyways, let's go find myself and see what we can do with SP Hein. So with SP Hein, nice thing about SP Hein here is we can use Luna. And okay, so let's do this. So let's start with buffing him up. And as I was mentioning earlier, depending on how you position yourself, you can actually move super far. So when you're SP Hein, one thing that you probably notice is that you have these different stacks. The nice thing is your talent now automatically gives you 2 stacks, which is plus 6 times 2, which is 12% from the get-go. And with the exclusive Helm, normally you only can get up to 4 stacks, but with the exclusive Helm you can get to 5. So 5 times 6, that's 30% intel increase. That's huge. Super a lot, like huge. Humongous. And we'll take a look at what my would look like in a little bit. But you also notice that you have so you start off with 2 stacks of thunder and 2 stacks of flame. And thunder will give you damage taken decreased by 2% per stack, and then for flame you get crit chance increased by 2, and then and you get random of these every time you end a turn. Okay, so let's see what I'm talking about. So went to auto on the other side, so that's okay. Okay, we're gonna do that. So now, as you can see, I can move here. And the 1C skill, which is here, if I use this again, I can act again and I can move. Okay, so right from there, I got random. So I got a stack and I got 2 thunder. So this is the part where it gets a little tricky. Depending on what you get, you'll be able to use different skills. If you get thunder, you'll be able to do, it's a 1 cost skill, and it is here 1.6 damage. And reduces the enemy's defense by 30%. Okay, but the 2 times 2, so the teleport is always you'll be able to use because you always start with 2. Okay, but I'm not gonna do that right now. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and if you notice that with the 3C, I can already go at range 3 with a huge range right here. But I'm not gonna do anything right now. I'm just gonna end turn. So on the very first turn, you notice that I can already get 4 stacks each, and then I'm already at 4 stack intel, which is at 6%. So I'm at 1,610. I do want to see what it would look like if I get 5 stacks. So let's do that. I should have brought Liana, but anyways. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and so with 4 stacks already, my 3C becomes range 4 and a span of 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and use it to see how strong it is. Pretty decent. Okay, that's a huge amount, but then now you notice that I now have 5. I can have up to 5 stacks. So at 5 stacks, my intel is 1,671. Not that high. Not that high. I would expect it to be a little bit higher, but my Hein is not maxed out. So I know others can get up to over 1,700 intel. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. So these are the skills that you would use, and then we'll kind of go also into we're gonna talk a little bit about enchant and whatnot. But yeah, as you can see from the second turn, he can already use his 3C to the maximum effect. 4 range with 4 span. That's pretty scary. And for me, for my enchants, I'm actually using clock, and this is not actually not his optimal. Okay, clock is not his optimal enchant, and the reason for that is because he is recommended using breeze. Now, the only reason why I'm using clock is because I already had some clock enchanted gear. In addition, as much as I hate RNG, I also like RNG, and if he's 3C clocks, basically it's GG from there because it's huge range, does very decent amount of damage. And the other reason why my intel was not over 1700, even though my green intel is 476, is because of the weapon that I'm using. Normally, the recommended item is Red Moon, and if you had Red Moon when you're in battle or when you're in PvPing, you have an increase of I think 10% intel, and that's what would bring you above 1700. Since I'm using Miracle Staff, and if you're using Miracle Staff, obviously you're going for AOE. So my focus is on AOE damage, clocking 3C. It's a very I guess niche way of using him, but that's just my choice. But for regular usage or most common, I would actually recommend going with Breeze as the enchant. Also increases 10% damage. Use Red Moon as his staff, and then you can even, instead of using Vidar, because I'm using Vidar because I'm focusing very heavy on AOE, but the other recommended one is actually using the Star Earring. And the reason why is Star Earring will let him be very tanky against assassins, and because his magic defense is super high to begin with, plus you get 30% reduced damage for magic from using this one cost skill. He's no longer afraid of being one shot by magic as well as by physical. In addition, if you look at his new soldier, so the sorceresses make him super tanky at 100% against magic, but he can use actually Flannex as well. In fact, Flannex is super tanky with high HP, so against physical damage he should have no problem. SP Elwyn, who's SP Elwyn? He won't do any damage to Hein using Flannex, and then even with Warner would not be able to snipe him either because he has Flannex. So choose your soldiers wisely when you're facing the different types of opponent and on the pick ban, so be very thoughtful of that. One last note is that his new 2-cost skill, which is the single, so the AOE is 3.8 effective. It's a fire, I believe, damage, but the single target one here, attack single target, is 1.6 damage. But what it does is that before entering battle, range increased by 1. Okay, so this is very important. What that means is that you can act, if you are using sorceresses, you can attack from 3 range. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, without the range staff, you can attack at 3 range, so that most people can't counterattack. In addition to that, if you're using Flannex, and you can attack from 2 range now, so you'll be able to still take advantage of using Flannex at 2 range with no penalty, because you don't want to be attacking from melee, because high magic will get a penalty from there. So from 2 range, you can use Flannex and basically one-shot any cavalry, I guess, opponent. And if you're using sorceresses, you have a range of 3. So soldier choices, I think it's a no-brainer. I don't think even use Shrine Maiden anymore, because Flannex is definitely a lot bulkier. And if you're gonna if they use Twilight Star and break your 100%, your Shrine Maiden is useless anyways. But with Flannex, he still can take a hit, no problem physically. And then unless they have sword infantry. And then for any type of magic you're fighting against, if you have sorceress, then you have no problems with, especially with the 1-cost skill. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. And then as you can see from my part 1 video, the recommended enchants is HP, Intel, and Defense, because you already have super high magic defense anyways. Any type of defense will help you survive AOE, physical AOE, like Ares, Ariana, and Joshua and whatnot. His HP is not that high, but because in his SP form he does get 3489, which is not too bad. Green, you run at least 3000. I'm a little bit shy of 3000, but I think that should be enough to help you survive with most AOE. And defense, you want as high as possible. If you can get like 130, 140, that'd be really good, but at least 100 minimum. If you get anything less than that, it's just not good. You're gonna get, but with this much defense, he can survive hopefully at least a hit from an AOE. Okay, so those are the recommended. And then of course for Arena Mastery, I went with crit chance and crit damage increase, but you could go the other way around instead, so that he can survive assassins and AOEs. That's up to you. I haven't decided which way I'm gonna go. I do want to try my luck with AOE and then see where I go from there. But that's my choice. However, I think in normal circumstances, a lot more players would go with the crit reduction chance and crit damage reduction instead. So depending on what type of opponent you face a lot, that's something that you want to consider. But other than that, the normal will be HP, Intel, and Defense for the PvP Arena Mastery. Okay. And then of course for the skills, I don't think you use any other skill, because this will give him the most flexibility. You have an AOE 3C, which huge benefits, 1C skill, which increases his movement, as well as grants him a lot of additional quirks and reduced magic damage. And then this is 3 spells in 1, which is an AOE or a single target or a teleport. Super nice. So those are the, I guess, how I would recommend for using Hein. Now, one thing I guess that we can't really show right now is how well he will do. I do plan to use Hein this weekend. I'm not sure who I'm gonna replace him with. We'll find out. That's something that I have to really think about. But I am pretty satisfied with my current enchant built gear. Again, it's not for everybody, but you're welcome to try it out with this setup or with the normal Red Moon Breeze as well, and then with the different accessory with the star earring. Okay, I think that's about it. We went over the enchant skills, soldiers, PvP, and yeah, I think the very last thing would be just to hopefully provide some video. I might even bring him in War Arena this week to see if we could use him effectively. But other than that, good luck with unlocking your SP Hein. I hope you're just as excited as I am in using him, and just because he is actually on Fraction, he's Legion of Glory, Empire, and Princess, which is, I have all those Fraction buffers in my box, so perfect. Anyways, that's enough rambling for me. Good luck, take care, and aloha.